My friend, we are living in new normal. There is a new norm in town called Gen Z. Whoever does not align itself with, he'll perish. It's as simple as that. The politics of this country has changed completely. And I have said this, and I will say it again. If you are not careful, 2027, you will see leaders who will not order a single rally, who will not put a poster, who will not put a speaker, who will not order a single rally, but they will be elected. It's a new norm in town. There is a new chef in town called Gen Z. Please listen to what he's cooking and enjoy the meal. And I want to ask the government of the day, please don't think that talking tough, don't think that Gen Zs will back down their intentions until justice and the demands which were given by Gen Zs are fully fulfilled.
For years, Kenyan elections were controlled by powerful politicians, regional kingpins, and massive political alliances. But something is changing. A new political force is rising very fast. Not from parliament, not from political parties, but from phones, social media, and millions of frustrated young Kenyans.
Love the Gen Zs, maybe supervised by the Gen Zs, to make sure that everybody votes and the votes are counted. I'm now told that they are going to establish vehicles as polling centers. Vehicles, motor vehicles. Gari ya nani? Presiding officers there. Wanaenda kuhesabu kura msituni. May God bring Trump. I love the way Trump has been elected. If it is by Trump that we shall clean up this mess.
And now, many politicians are beginning to realize one thing. Gen Z could decide Kenya's next president. Welcome to Siasa Daily. Subscribe right now for deep political analysis, hidden power games, and the stories shaping Kenya's future. Now, for a very long time, Kenyan politics followed a familiar formula. Big rallies, ethnic voting blocks, powerful political families, and carefully negotiated coalitions. But Gen Z is changing that formula completely.
2027, at the tallying center at the ward level, we will have Gen Z representatives to count the votes and to announce the votes. Alafu tutaungana kama Gen Z, kama ni Nairobi County, kuna Gen Z wa kule Githurai, Gen Z wa Kangemi, atatuambia ni ngapi na tutajua ni votes ngapi za rais zimepigwa katika Nairobi County, na tutafanya hivyo katika Kakamega County, tutafanya hivyo katika Bungoma County.
Hamna haja na magavana, MCA, mnataka zile za rais peke yake.
Lazima rais ametuchosha bana, lazima akwende nyumbani.
Because this generation thinks differently. They communicate differently. And most importantly, they react politically very differently.
And one person said yes, hiyo Sifuna. Kukua Sifuna imaanishi wewe ni wa ODM ama wewe ni nani. Mimi ndio Sifuna means every person who is tired for bad leadership, for bad governance, a person who is championing for change. Mtu mwenye anataka change. Na kama wewe unasema una support broad based, usiende kuaspire kiti. Kaa hapo usupport MCA wenyu hadi azeeke. Akitoka ape mtoto wake aingie.
Does it mean then all Gen Zs want your Sifuna?
If you want change, you must be Sifuna. But if you don't want change, you can be Cherargei or whoever you want to be.
Unlike older generations, many Gen Z voters are less loyal to political parties. They are more issue-driven, more emotional, more online, and far more willing to challenge authority publicly. That is why one controversial statement, one unpopular text, or one viral video can suddenly create nationwide political anger within hours.
Even the current Gen Z, when it happened in 2024, they were with Morara Kebaso. They moved to Matiang'i. They moved to Maraga. Nowadays, they have moved to Sifuna. So they don't have a stand. I like people like Senator Crystal. When they say they have a stand, they have a stand. And I hope the young people our age should have a stand. Because by tomorrow, they might move from Sifuna to Senator Katuri. Before you know it, they'll move back to Cherargei and maybe finally to Senator Eddy. So young people should have a stand like Senator Crystal Lasige so that we can have a better country. with a vision that will change this country. And I know finally after Senator Eddy, they'll move back to President William Ruto.
And politicians are struggling to keep up. Social media has become Gen Z's political battlefield. TikTok, X, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. This is where political narratives are now being created. Not only in rallies, not only on television, but online every single day.
Chukokadi is Ruto must go. Ademba, Sophie, Gen Z Badi, everybody who's been taking part in the Chukokadi initiative, we are doing this because Ruto must go. We are not having a secret about it. We are not sorry about it. We do not want this presidency, and with good reasons. Not because we hate Ruto, not because we have any ill motive. We just want better for our country. And this presidency has killed young people. This presidency has continued to steal from us. This presidency has continued to lie to us. And we have political rights under Article 38 of the Kenyan Constitution, which gives us the freedom to participate freely, politically, with what we want. So that is why tunasema Chukokadi is equals to Ruto must go.
Okay.
If Brian is not happy about that, I think they should have started their own initiative that says something else that is not Chukokadi is equals to Ruto must go.
But what do you say to what the point that was raised by Jared? And his argument is, what assurance do you have, even if you vote Ruto out, that whichever administration comes in will be accountable, will be transparent, will not kill young people?
Yeah, one of the things we have been keen about, even as we do Chukokadi, is creating a national youth movement. We realized that while we were protesting, a lot of young people are out there, but it is not a consolidated young movement. So what we're doing is taking contacts of key young people who are mobilizers and organizers in their different areas and consolidating that into a concrete structure that can then be called upon for any action that we need to have nationally. Mm-hmm. Which is giving me hope, because then we can activate at any time.
All right.
A politician can spend millions organizing rallies, then lose public sympathy because of one viral clip online. That is the new reality. Another major reason Gen Z matters politically is numbers. Kenya has a very young population. Millions of young people are either already voting or preparing to vote for the first time. And many of them are deeply frustrated. Unemployment, high cost of living, economic pressure, corruption, lack of opportunities. These issues affect young Kenyans directly every day. And when frustration becomes emotional, it becomes political.
Hawa wanafikiria vijana wa Gen Z si wa kabila. Hawa vijana ni wa kabila sana. Tukienda katika uchaguzi ya haya universities zetu, chuo vikuu, enda katika chuo kikuu ya KU, katika elections ambazo miaka 5 ambazo zimepita, kama wewe si Mkikuyu huwezi kuwa president wa KU. Mimi nakwambia, nimekuwa katika hizi uchaguzi vya hawa vijana, wanachagua katika ukabila wao. Hata uende katika chuo cha kikuu ya UN ambao yao Gen Z wako watakwambia huyu si wetu. Mimi nakueleza, enda katika hizi vyuo vikuu. La pili, acha niseme hivi, amekuwa kihesabu tuko watu wawili sijui, acha niseme. Kuna kitu ambapo wao wanasema katika lugha la Kimombo, inasema hivi, kuwa an organized minority is better than a disorganized majority. Nimekubaliana naye kwamba mimi na Rioba labda ndio wanamunga mkono Rais William Ruto. Hao wanne unajua wanamunga mkono nani? Huwezi jua. Sasa tukienda kwa kura wawili, Ruto akona hakika kura ikipigwa hapa wawili watakuwa wa Ruto. Huyu atakuwa Sifuna, sijui mgani atakuwa wa Matiang'i, ule sijui. Huu mrengo ni na kati ya sababu moja ya kisiasa niliachana na huu mrengo ni kwa sababu ni watu ambao hawajajipanga. Daka moja unasikia unataka Morara ndio kuwe rais, daka moja sijui mimi ndio Sifuna, daka moja sijui ni nini. Ni watu ambao hawajajipanga. Na ukienda katika uchaguzi na hujajipanga utashindwa. William Ruto anajua, sawa hawa kina Murithi si wangu hao, lakini wake anaendelea kujipanga kila siku. William Ruto anakutana na watu wangapi weekly? Hao ni katika tu sijui mtandaoni sijui wapi. Hakuna kura ambayo inapigwa mtandaoni. William Ruto amejipanga, na sasa nawaambia hivi, William Ruto atachaguliwa mwaka wa 2027. Na ngoja mtaona.
One thing that makes Gen Z different is fearlessness. Previous generations often respected political hierarchy more carefully, but Gen Z openly criticizes leaders online, creates memes, challenges government narratives, questions authority directly, and sometimes they organize faster online than political parties organize physically. That has shocked many traditional politicians because, for the first time in years, political influence is slowly moving away from only politicians toward ordinary citizens with smartphones. And this creates a dangerous situation for any political leader because online anger spreads extremely fast. One protest clip, one controversial speech, one trending hashtag can completely dominate national conversation overnight. And once public perception changes online, it becomes very difficult to control politically. This is why many politicians are now trying harder to appear youthful online. Some are opening TikTok accounts. Others are changing communication styles. Some are even avoiding confrontational speeches against young people because they understand something important. Ignoring Gen Z could become politically fatal.
Mpenda kuzilika, mpenda chicks, mpenda clyde, mpenda hizo hit six zikiwa mpenda hii, mpenda that slow but in the chop chop, mpenda hii, mpenda that slow but in the chop chop. Ina dipida.
Still, there is one major question. Will Gen Z actually vote in large numbers? Because online influence alone is not enough. Real political power comes from turnout. And if millions of young Kenyans eventually translate online frustration into voting power, then Kenya's political future could change completely. Not because of traditional alliances, but because of a new generation demanding change. So, the big question is, will Gen Z truly reshape Kenyan politics in 2027, or will traditional political machinery still remain stronger? Tell us what you think in the comments. Could Gen Z really decide Kenya's next president? Or is social media influence being exaggerated? Subscribe to Siasa Daily for more deep political analysis and hidden political stories shaping Kenya today.